quite innovative and is really up to date if compared with what we can find in scientific literature. So the idea is to ask to you for the exam to prepare to continue and finalize your activity, and especially to acquire movement data and to apply them both in a Delmia environment and in virtual reality environment. And also to compare the results you can have in Delmia and in virtual reality with Unreal. After that, you can make, you have to make a literature overview on what you have done, just using, for example, the Scopus database in order to understand if other researchers has done the same work that you are doing now. And we would like to ask you to give a structure to a paper in which there will be a first part about scientific literature, and the second part about what you have done, about your experience in lab. And I think that we don't have a real theoretical exam, but our idea is to discuss about the theoretical aspect that we have faced during the lectures, just discussing about your paper. So probably while writing your paper, you will meet some info and informations and literature about modeling, about representation method, about virtual reality, probably something also on about ergonomics. So you will have some opportunities to deepen your knowledge about these topics, and I think that it will be not necessary to ask you to make with you standard exams in which me and Professor Carpetti will ask you some questions about the theoretical part, just hoping that you give us the right answers. But we prefer to discuss like an open discussion about the innovative aspects that you have met during your lab experience. And I think that just studying the scientific literature and basing your knowledge on the slides that we have given you and the lectures that we have given you during the course, we should have a good discussion about exams topics. And this is our idea. Professor Capetti, you want to add something?
You talked about this exam 10 minutes.
Okay, you give me a vote.
You completely explained our idea. For me, it's okay, obviously. I don't know if our students want to say something.
Prof, just a question. The paper will be a work of group, right? We must write a single paper.
Yes.
And even the discussion will be made in group.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you agree, you can discuss the paper in group. Probably the best way to have a good discussion and to highlight the contents that each of you have given to the paper. You are 4 people, and 2 of you can deepen more the part on Delmia and ergonomics, and the other 2 about the virtual reality and on Unreal. So we can split the discussion on the 2 topics, main topics of the paper. And the paper should be a comparison about the two kinds of approach. What do you think about?
Okay, so we decide before the discussion who have to talk about first part or second part.
Yes, just split in two. So obviously, all of you have to know the contents of the paper, but two of you will deepen the first part, and two of you the second part.
Yeah.
Okay, Professor, it's clear.
You can organize the speech and split the paper and talk about the paper, one of you for each paper, for each part. But you need to be able to talk about all the paper, because how to say it, a round table, I suppose. We can imagine a round table about your paper after your speech. From the practical point of view, I inform you that I will be in the lab next week and in the hours of the course. So you can come in lab, you can work with me. I think that Carlotta and Rosaria can help you in order to how to write a scientific paper. After you completed the activity on Dermiae and Unreal. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Prof, could you repeat the name of the database with the papers?
Scopus. We have two open databases that all students can use online. They are named Scopus and Easy Web of Knowledge. I just write it in the...
But you can access this database from university.
Yes.
So you have to stay at Tunisia.
Yes. Or you have to set the right properties to your web browser. If you go, I just want to check if I can go. Okay, I will share my screen with you. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
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 Okay. If you go, sorry, I'm on Apple and I'm not so on .it. If you search for proxy, you can set your proxy on your web browser, and then you using your username and password for UNISA account, you can access to the main database, scientific database that we have in Biblioteca. Most important are Scopus, www.scopus.com. This is one, the first one, probably the most important. Oh, Professor Carlorino, well, when you can make search using any kind of fields for research and keywords, or by authors and so on, or easy was. It is Web of Science. This is the other database, scientific database, from which you can, through which you can access to millions and millions of papers. Even here, you have lots of search possibility about documents and the reference structures and so on. And if you use the UNISA proxy to access to these databases, you have the full access to the papers coming from thousands and thousands of journals.
But
and,
not all the papers.
Not all the papers, but most of them.
Most of them.
Okay, I will unshare the screen. And that's all. Well, I don't know if you have any other question for us.
It seems to be clear for the moment. Maybe when we start, we will have more questions.
Yeah.
I agree your consideration.
Yes, but don't have any worry, because you will have Carlotta Fontana and Rosaria Califano that will help you on this project.
Okay, maybe for the moment we need help with the Anaconda script, the thing we were doing yesterday in the lab.
I don't understand.
Maybe for the moment we need help with the thing we were doing yesterday in the lab with Anaconda.
The Python code.
Python code.
We have to understand how it works and what we have to modify in the code in order to do our work. I think that we must talk with Saverio of this thing, because I think that I don't know who have written the code, but I think that at least Saverio should know how it works.
The code is written, I think, by Yolanda Alessandro.
Yes, the Python code was written by Yolanda and by Wolfsong, the professor of Judah. But Yolanda knows how does it work.
I don't have the code, so I cannot read and try to understand what are the steps.
Yolanda, I think that the code is in one of the computers in the lab.
We have the code too. Maybe we can talk with Yolanda the next week.
Yes.
In the lab.
You have the email address of Yolanda?
No.
You have to write her by email, because she doesn't work yet in our lab. She goes to work. She went to work in Maserati just since 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay, so she can't come to the lab.
No, but if you contact Yolanda by email, I think they can answer you.
Well, if you have no other question for me, I will leave the session, because I'm just working on another issue. And see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks, Alessandro.